Outside the country, amid China-Japan tension, President Trump appears to have taken the role of mediator. The president held important phone discussions with the leaders of China and Japan, highlighting the urgency of dialogue. A decision was made for President Trump to visit China next April, followed by President Xi's visit to the United States later that year. Let's connect with our correspondents based in Beijing and Washington to delve more deeply into the specifics. To begin, let's go to Beijing. Correspondent Kim Han-chun, China and the US discussed the Taiwan issue, right?
The two leaders held a phone call last night for about an hour long. They discussed the Taiwan issue, which had not been properly addressed at the summit held in Busan a month ago. When Xi mentioned that the core of the international order China aims for is to reintegrate Taiwan, President Trump responded by saying he understands well how important the Taiwan issue is to China, according to Chinese state media. This part is interpreted as the US promising not to intervene in issues related to Taiwan. The timing of this call is also noteworthy. Currently, the US and China are engaged in detailed negotiations regarding the resumption of China's rare earth exports, and analysts suggest that China has skillfully leveraged the US's awkward position in siding with Japan.
Now heading to Washington. Correspondent Kang Young-gu, it has been reported that President Trump initiated this dialogue. What responses have been documented so far?
Immediately after the call, President Trump noted on social media that he had a productive dialogue with President Xi on several important topics. However, the Taiwan issue, a crucial and hot topic, was not raised at all. President Trump strategically upheld careful ambiguity, given the necessity to enhance relations with China and bolster support for ally Japan. Moreover, he pointed out that both nations could now focus on a broader, more comprehensive picture moving forward. While he did not elaborate on the broad picture, this approach appears primarily designed to extract significant economic and trade benefits in the ongoing tariff negotiations.
President Trump appears focused on preventing Taiwan from escalating into conflict. Does this suggest immediate changes for China? Are changes expected soon?
Given the climate, changes seem unlikely. In fact, China today conducted significant military actions, including live drills in the Yellow Sea. Recent reports indicate complex wartime simulations underway in China. This includes emergency material transport by local militia and an order for Chinese airlines to continue reduced flights to Japan through March next year. China is likely to continue its diplomatic efforts to further isolate Japan in Northeast Asia, firmly believing that America's non-intervention could ultimately lead to Japan's isolation. Still, since China does not truly wish to sever ties with Japan due to potential risks, there is ongoing speculation about a possible exit strategy that may develop later. We also need to consider Taiwan's reaction as a directly involved party. After the controversial call details were revealed, Taiwan strongly asserted that it is an independent nation and that rejoining China is not an option.
Furthermore, President Trump held a phone call with Japan's Prime Minister Takaichi. The Taiwan matter must have been a topic. What key points did President Trump convey?
Though initiated by President Trump, the specific details of his important call with Prime Minister Takaichi remain undisclosed. Prime Minister Takaichi also refrained from commenting on the Taiwan issue, stating it should be addressed through diplomatic dialogue. Concerns naturally arise from uncertainties surrounding the phone call. With Trump restoring shuttle diplomacy, if Presidents Trump and Xi attempt a major big deal at next year's summit by putting key economic and security issues on the same table for discussion, there is widespread speculation that, given Trump's tendencies, he could try to strike a significant deal with President Xi on the Taiwan issue. This raises concerns that South Korea and Japan, key Northeast Asian stakeholders, could be excluded. This has been reported from Washington.